Welcome all. So let me share my screen. So are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
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 Yes, yes.
So today it is going to be a basic class on art. So it is not, I'm not going to take a very complicated or very sophisticated class. It's like a very basic thing. And this will be very useful for you and your kids and the kids within yourself. So let's start our session. So this is about art. And before going to this, there are some basic elements of art. Before going to these elements of arts, I would like to ask some questions. So how many of you are, uh, were doing some drawing and painting, but now you are not doing it? But you have interest, but you don't you are not doing because there are some thoughts that you don't you cannot do it. How many of you are there like this?
Yeah, I am like that, Raja Subramani. Actually, I have won many prizes in drawing. I think I usually get only drawing in my kid. Like now, I'm not at all doing. Um,
Okay.
but I'm
Okay.
not creative enough. But when I see a picture, like I can draw it as it is. But I'm not creative enough. I can't think and draw. But when I see something, I can draw it as such. I used to do many painting in my kid, but now not now.
வேற யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா? ஆர்ட் முன்னாடி சின்ன வயசுல பண்ணீங்க, ஆனா வந்து
கண்ணன் கை தூக்குறாரு, மேனகா கை தூக்குறாங்க.
ஓகே.
அதே மாதிரி தான் ஜூலி சொன்ன மாதிரி தான் அதை பார்த்து வரையதான் தெரியும் ஆக்சுவலா.
ஓகே.
ஓகே.
So now for next 15 minutes we'll go back to our childhood and we'll just we'll be very enthusiastic to learn basic things. Okay. So the basic elements of art, there are these are the basic elements like line, color, value, shape, form, space and texture. And this it is not necessary that you have to use all the elements at a time. For when you are doing some painting or drawing, it is not necessary that you need to use all the ingredients. You can use some of the ingredients like line, color or shape, like that. Okay, so we will see one by one. So first is line. So most of you will be saying that no, I when I draw a line, I am not able to draw a straight line. So why it is happening that? Why you are not able to draw a straight line, vertical line or a horizontal line or a diagonal line? Because the reason is you have the fear. So we have the fear. If you throw out the fear out of you and start drawing a line, it will be easy. You will be confidently drawing a line or a wavy line, zigzag line, curved line, all those things when you are fearless. And when you will be fearless, when you think like a child, because a child will not have the preconception that no, people, what people will think about me, why, how I am doing, how I am drawing. Those things a child will not have that in his mind. But when the child is growing up, a lot of people would have criticized them and they would have left it. And what I suggest is no, you can take some rough note and you can start scribbling, or you can do a lot of no drawing like a child. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you are seeing, you can see around you. There are a lot of objects are there. You can start doing line drawing. This is called as a freehand drawing. We can say this is as a freehand drawing. You can think of any objects and you can start drawing it. You don't worry about whether it is going to be a mistake or not. Simply draw. That will improve your skill in drawing, and the more you practice, the more you become expert in that. So I'm giving some examples here. You can see there are some sample line drawings. When you are kids, you would have drawn all these things. So these are the line drawings. All the drawings are made by some lines. Okay, it is not necessary that it should be a straight line, or it can be any curvy line, anything. So a composition of line makes some drawing. So this is one first point. Second point is second element of art is color. So you can see here we have three primary colors. First color is a yellow, which is a lemon yellow. Then we have the red and blue. So these three colors are the primary color. But if you consider in a computer is having RGB, that is red, green, and blue. But when you use a paint, we have three primary colors: yellow, red, and blue. Instead of yellow, in computers we'll be using green. So these are the using this primary color, you can draw, you can generate lot of other colors. You can see here, this is the secondary colors. So when you mix these two color, lemon yellow and red, you will get a orange color. And when you mix red and blue, you will get purple color. When you mix blue and yellow, you will get a green color. So this is a secondary color. And again, you can start doing some mixing here. So when purple is mixed with red, we get a brighter purple. When purple mixed with blue, we get a darker blue. We can mix this green and blue to get light blue. Like that, we get ternary colors. Okay. So like this, you can generate lot of colors. Okay. This is the colors, and you can see the sketch pens and marker pens. All those colors are having mainly they will have the primary colors. And I will show one picture using the primary colors. You can see here, this picture is you can see almost everything is no primary color or secondary or ternary colors. So these are the plain colors. Using these plain colors, we can do some painting like a cartoon, or like a kid, we can draw this painting. So next, this is the third element of art, value. So value, what is value? From the brightest color to the darkest color, if you just move, this is called as value. Value of white is, or value of brighter color white is 1. When we slightly increase the darkness, or the brightness is reduced, then it is gradually goes to 9. 9 is the darkest color. So darkest shade, we can say. Okay. The same way, if you see the other colors like red also, we can go to the darkest side. So increasing the value of red means we are going towards a darker red, and if you are decreasing the value, then we are going to the brightest color. That means we have two more colors, white and black. In our previous slide, I haven't mentioned about the color white and black. So that white and black is used for increasing and decreasing the value. So when I want to make a color darker, then I have to use black. I just need to add some little black so that I get the darker color. If I want to get a lighter color, then I have to use a white. Okay, so this is how you can generate hundreds of millions of colors using these primary colors and using the white and black. So you will get plenty of shades using this value and color, combination of value and colors. Now here in this picture you can see a red color is used here, and the red color, darkest red is you can see near this place there is some dark red is there, and as it goes you can see the value of the red color is uh, changing here. So here a brighter color, you can see here brighter colors, here you can see some darker colors, here also some darker colors are there. So this is the magic of value. Okay, so as you add some bright color, it will be brighter. As when you add some dark color, then it will become darker. Okay, so everything is about mixing the color, what color you are mixing and how it no give a new color to you. So next element is shape. So shape, you know about geometrical shape, all these triangle, rectangle, octagon, diamond, all these things are geometrical shape. And apart from these shapes, we have some organic shapes. These are freehand like shape. When you connect a line with to itself, then it becomes a shape. So you can see these shapes, we cannot define what is the shape, but these are some shape. These when we composite, when we combine all these shapes, we get some composition. Okay, so let's see an example. This is an example. You can see here, this is the uh, you can see the diagram. We can visualize this as a some shapes. You have this picture, and in this picture we are just outlining the shapes. So the beak part is a triangular shape, the head part is oval shape, and the neck part is like cylindrical shape. So we are generating the shapes from the actual picture, and we are able to draw exactly the uh, same picture. Okay, so this is how we have to visualize everything as a shape. So next form is the forms. This is an another element. The forms, this is the next level of shapes. Shape is for two-dimensional diagram, we will be using shapes. But if you are using a three-dimensional objects, like a sculptor will do these things. They will have the objects in three dimensionals, like cone, cube, sphere, cylinder, and we can also have some shape which is not defined. You cannot define those shapes. And if you see some, the kids will be playing with the clay. They will have the more creativity on making some objects, making some toys, using the shape. All these are no a composition of shapes. Okay, you make some spherical uh, dough, and we combine everything to make a toy. So this is a another main element of art. So next slide, space. So this is very important. Like when you are drawing something, some nature kind of, or when you are doing some outdoor painting, or when you are watching some open place where you can see the distance. Now in this picture, the nearer things are very clear. You can see the trees are very clear, and when it goes far, the all the colors are no fading away. The colors are fading, and uh, the mountains are becoming small. Okay, so how this is a two-dimensional picture only, but we are able to show the distance, or we can show the distance within the picture. So if you can see in naturally, when you are when somebody is near you, you will be able to see all the details, but that person is away or some 1 kilometer away, and you will not be able to identify the details. You can just see one small ant-like object there. Okay, so that is how space plays a very important role. And I will also show one more picture here. So this is a perspective. Uh, this is a perspective view. You can see the near side of the road. We are able to see the road very clearly. The roughness of the road, and all the objects nearer to this my view is very clear. But when we go far, the road is vanishing there, and the objects there near the mountain we are not able to see very clearly. Maybe there are some trees are there, but we are not able to see those objects there because it is very far away, and we don't need to do a lot of detailing there. When you are painting this scene, you don't need to do a lot of detailing there. So this is called one point perspective. We can have two point perspective, 3 point perspectives is there, but I don't want to go make it complicated. So next element of art is texture. So texture is a surface of the whatever the things you see. The wood surface will be different. The brick surface will be different. The marble is a smooth surface, and rock, it is a rough surface, and the grass, the skin tone, all those things are textures. Okay, how we are going to show the textures in using the painting? It's very difficult, but by the stroke of the pencil we can show the texture. We can show here you can see the only the lines are there, but it shows a different texture. And I will also give some more example. Like to give more texture to your painting, you can use lot of different brushes here. Each brush you can see it is used for different purpose. So you have to use variety of brushes so that you give more texture to your painting. And not only brush, you can use a lot of different techniques. We can be creative to use a lot of techniques, like we can use some sponge, we can use a scrubber, we can use toothbrush, and we can also use earbuds. So it is up to your creativity how you are using. So each tool is going to give you different texture to your painting. So it is no what are the texture that you want to add in your painting. Based on that you have to use the tool. So that's about elements of art. Now we will see light and shadow. This is another one topic. Light and shadow, uh, only by light and shadow only we will be able to see the object in a three-dimensional way. Okay, so in your painting also you have to apply this. So here we are having a sphere here, and there is a light source falling on it from this direction, from the right side. The light is falling on this ball, and immediately there a brightest part is generated here in the highlight. This is called as highlight, and around that highlight we get some bright tone. So gradually it is reduced to mid tone. So we are getting the shade is the tone is increasing here, and then you'll find this area where the light source is not reaching here. This area is a area where the light source is not reaching. So this is called as the core shade. So this is a shadow uh, where the light is not reached here, and this object is making a cast shadow here, and there is a one reflected light here. this reflected light will be formed here in this below. You can see in this area. This reflected light is suppose the floor is yellow. Okay, the floor on which the sphere is there, it is yellow. Then it will, this reflection light, this object will get the yellow color from that floor. So that is called the reflection light. Okay, so that is about light and shadow. And you can see here we have different values based on, it is only by the values of the color we can make some realistic painting. Like we have this color is the value of this color is 1, and the value of the shadow is 5. Okay, so that's about my presentation. So if you have any questions.